Right. Hello, everyone. We should have gone live now with a bit of luck. Just had a bit of teething trouble here. This is a new setup. Obviously, I'm not in my house. I'm down here, with my friend. So, yeah, we're just setting up a few things and we're ready to go now. So, yeah, hope you're all well. It's been a really busy time for me. It was slightly. I did that video to camera the other day, and it was slightly alarming how many people either wrote things in the comments or sent me messages saying you look knackered. Um, I was tired. But I didn't feel too bad. I just was tired. But hopefully, I look slightly better today. Um, but yeah, it's been a very busy time, of course. Um, it's recording an audiobook is demanding. It's quite grueling. Um, Hopefully, it came out well and people like it when it comes out. You do look all your everyone saying, "Are you okay? You taking care of?" Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'll tell you. I'll discuss this in a second. But yeah, it's hard work because you just have no downtime at all. You just got to sit there and just churn it out. But also the standard has to be really high, and you just kind of you put on the earphones. You have the producer in your ears. I've got to say, my producer's amazing, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, if there's the slightest problem, or you miss a syllable, or you just stutter over your words slightly, you just got to record that bit again, and they just roll it back, and then you hear yourself, and then you come in again. And yeah, this was a complicated. There's a lot of difficult vocabulary in this book, and there's a fair few abbreviations. But in the audiobook, I felt I needed to read the abbreviations unless it was a really well known one. So then you've got to remember all the abbreviations. But yeah, I got there in the end. But yeah, it was hard work. Anyway, I'll say a few hellos. Hello to John. Good evening to you. I thought your speech in 19 years was excellent. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was nice to be asked to talk, and I just did the best I could, as always. So yeah, it seemed to go down well, and everyone laughed at my joke. That's the main thing for me. As long as your joke lands okay, then I don't mind about the rest of it, really. But yeah, hopefully it went down okay. So it seemed to. Hi to Cherry Cupcake. Hello to Zoe. Hope you're okay and getting a bit of downtime. Well, I definitely been slowed down a bit. Yeah, I've had a couple of quieter days. Of course, there's still stuff going on. And I still need to do a bit of work and try and keep YouTube going for everyone. So, yeah, I've definitely had a fair bit of downtime, but it's not. I can't just completely relax. I have to keep going for a little while. But at some point, I'll have a holiday. Some point in the future. But yeah, I've definitely slowed down. I think I look healthier today. Hopefully. Did some cooking this evening, so that was nice. Hi to Bernie, hope you're well. Hi to Key to Confidence. Good evening. Am I taking care of myself? I think so. I'm down by the sea here, so we take Kiko to the sea every day. Kiko insists on seeing the sea. It's not enough just to be on the beach. She insists on going right down to the sea every day. So we go and make sure the sea's still there every day. So yeah, I'm good. Everything's going well. Hi to Jonathan. Loved your 19 nurses speech. Looking forward to all the rest. Best wishes with the book. Thank you. Glad people enjoyed the speech. It was nice to meet some of you. I did have a lot of people come up to me, which isn't really nice, as I discussed in the YouTube video. It's really nice to meet people and that people want to meet you. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but I really like it. So thanks to everyone who said hello, and hopefully meet some more of you in the future. By the way, if I don't know if people have posted this on Facebook, on Road to Freedom, for example, if someone could post it there, that's always appreciated. I don't post the live streams, but yeah, if you could post it, that'd be good. All the 19 nurses videos are doing really well for views. Yeah, that's good. I think there's a lot of interest in in what's going on at the moment. So, we're hoping the book's going to do really well. We've certainly left no stone unturned in trying to make that happen. So, just got to wait and see. I will say that over the next, what's the date today? It's the 19th. So, what is it? It's less than 3 weeks, isn't it, to launch? So, over the next 2.5 weeks, or whatever it is, you'll probably see some more stuff come out. We'll have to wait and see. But I've filmed something, and there's some other stuff that we're working on. So you should hopefully see some more stuff soon. Hello to Mark. Good to have you here as always. Hello to Melanistic Marble. Thank you for the kind remarks. It's appreciated. I just do the best I can. So, I'm really grateful for the support, obviously. And I feel that I've got beyond where I thought I would be able to be at this stage. Obviously, I hope to have some support, but I didn't plan to do YouTube at all. And I certainly didn't expect to get, best part of 8,000 subscribers, get loads of views and loads of support. So that puts you hopefully in a good position for the book release rather than just coming out of nowhere with a book and no one knowing who I am, which was probably what I thought would happen. So that's not going to happen. So yeah, that's thanks to all you guys being there for me, basically. Hi to Patrick. Hi to Stuart. Hope you're well. Hi to Alex. Hi to Margaret. Hi to Exploring Catalonia. Hi to Maxine. Looking forward to your book. Yeah. So today I actually saw a printed version of the book. I've not held one in my hand yet, but I've seen one. I think Keeks needs to be allowed into the garden. The one problem we've got here is we're sat here with French windows. I tried to have Keeks in the front room, but she immediately wanted to come in, and now she wants to go out. So just bear with me. What do you want, Keeks? What are you doing? What are you doing? Just calm down and stop growling at things, please. Have you stopped growling now? Good girl. She's calmed down now. She's growling at a bird. Do you think you could pass as doctor after all your research? No, absolutely not. So a few people said you should work in the medical profession. I'm like, what? After doing this case? I don't think. Firstly, I obviously don't have the knowledge. Secondly, I don't have a desire to retrain at my age. And thirdly, I've not heard great things about the NHS culture. So while if you get to be a consultant, it's a privileged position and you get a lot of money, potentially, I love what I do now. And I'm already living my dream life. So I'm already really grateful for where I am. I don't need that much money to live. I don't need a consultant salary. So that would be the only plus point, really. I don't really see myself being a doctor, but I will say that I learned a lot. And actually, in one of the videos, I was going through this, the list of 25 problems with the hospital that's in the panel preview reports. I remember the first time I read that out, I just read it out. And this time when I read it out, I was able to elucidate and explain all the points and say, this is what it's relevant to. This is what it refers to in Lucy's case. And I thought, wow, I've learned a lot over the last 18 months since that, what is it, 16? No. It's done 16 months, isn't it? Came out in February, the first one. So, I think I learned a hell of a lot over the last 16 months, that's for sure. Hi to Patricia, nice to have you here. I got here okay. I must say that the build up to recording the audiobook was really busy because I had to sort all my life out before I came here. I had to sort out enough things. Cakes, no thank you. Kiko's eating the plant. This side. Down here. Thank you. I had to sort. Here she is. Here's the star of the show. Should we bring it down a little bit? There you are. I can actually move my laptop. Usually I'm doing this on a desktop computer, but today, because I'm away, it's on a laptop. So we have the facility to do that. It was a really busy time. I traveled a lot, and then I had to be ready to. I really wanted to come down here and relax for a few days, but that didn't happen. I ended up traveling down the day before I went to London. No, it wasn't even a day, was it? It was the same day I went to London. So that period was really hard, but I just knew I had to keep going. And then the last day where I did a public appearance was obviously 19 nurses. I knew that was the last day before I could have a break and slow down a bit. So just needed to keep going for those 10 days. Managed to do it, and now it's all a lot easier now. Hi to Jana, I think that's pronounced. Jana Councils. Good to see you here. Hi to Janet Turner. Hey Chris, you're a natural, easy to connect with you. Well, thank you. I do the best I can. I mean, I guess speaking, once you've got over the fact that you're standing in front of people, it's just like writing, really. It's just communicating with words, isn't it? So I should be reasonably okay at it. You have to get over the fact that you're facing a load of people and standing up and everyone's quiet and you're talking. Once you get over that, it's not that difficult. Hi to Mrs. Tiger Balm. You've been so busy, Chris. You're doing amazing. Take care. Loving the shorter regular videos and hope they're working well for you too. Yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying them. I've actually just recorded a really long one for next week. That'll come out the 23rd. And apart from that, I'll stick to doing shorter ones generally. But I don't know how long for or what I'm going to do. All I know is it's working at the moment, and I think you understand that I need to slow down a bit while I'm finalising the book, and then don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of months. We'll see, but I'll just keep things going. Marble, my cat, is attentively watching and listening. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I like to entertain our furry friends, of course. Hi to Simone. Hi, Chris. Yes, listen, unfortunately, we were working, so I couldn't make it in person this time. Yeah, I didn't see you. That would be why. Hopefully, you can make the next one, or, already planning stuff in the future. So hopefully, I'll cross paths with some of you again in the future. Hi to Bran. Good evening, Chris. Thank you for generously giving your time again. Yeah, it's not a problem. I wanted to catch up with people. It probably doesn't feel this way to you, but for me, everything's been on the fly a bit recently because I've been moving around and then I've not been able to plan anything. And YouTube has been a bit on the fly, just firefighting. So I thought, once I'm settled at the first opportunity, I'd like to do a live. So it's always good to do one. I'll probably do another one before the end of the month. Hi to Tim. Thank you for buying the book. I really appreciate that. Obviously, reviews are important as well if people are watching this. Hi to Janet. Waiting for your book. Yeah, I think everyone. I'm sure the anticipation has is quite large now. For me, it's passed really quickly as I thought it would, but I'm sure for you guys, it's taken quite a long time. For me, it's just been constant work. So it really has passed by quite quickly as I thought it would. But yeah, obviously, it's going to be great to have it out there. I will say the guy that produced the book, who sat and listened to the audiobook, I think by the end he was completely convinced. I think he was very convinced after a few chapters, and that by the end I think he was just blown away. So I'm really looking forward to people having that experience, whether they're reading it, listening to it, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a physical book now. The cover's so effective. I can't take any credit for that. I didn't design it. I didn't come up with the idea. I didn't come up with the color scheme. I did provide some feedback and help make it the way it is now, but very minimal input. But it looks great as a published book, as a printed book. So, yeah, we're really happy with that, and I'm really happy you guys like it. Hi to Tim. Good to have you here. House of Dragon asks, in your book, do you discuss Nice Mel? Probably. I don't think she features in it particularly prominently, but she's bound to be in there. I don't think I discuss the Brary saying that Nice Mel, Nice Lucy, all that stuff, because that's just kind of TV gossip to me. I discuss documented, factual things, and evidence, meaningful evidence, medical evidence, etc. I don't really want to get into the more gossipy end of the market if I can avoid it. So I didn't discuss that particular instance, but other things are there. I mean, I mentioned a few things that have been headline generating. Right? Do you need a wee, Keeks? Do you need a wee wees? Come on then, Keek needs a wee. Come on then, off you go. Keeks is chasing a bird. Hi to Keith. Nice meeting you again at the meeting in London. Yeah, it's good to see you as always. Hope you enjoyed it. I didn't get to speak. Things I feel bad because there's so many people I knew there and I hardly spoke to them. But I tried to stay a couple of minutes or 30 seconds with everyone that I knew and try to give a bit of time to everyone that would say hello. It's a difficult thing to balance. One thing I will tell you is that, and I told you this before, didn't I? I got recognised at the tube station. I've already told you that. That was really nice. A bit odd, but I could see this guy had clocked me, and I thought he must have been at the meeting, and then he wasn't. He just randomly bumped into me. Hi to Rachel. Hi to Julia. Hi to Henry. Patrick says, I think the momentum is building, and when the book comes out, will be exponential. I hope so. We will leave no stone unturned, as I mentioned, to try and do the best that we can with it and get it out to as many people as possible. It is important because I've mentioned the reasons why. I mentioned the reasons why in London. A book was very important for the Birmingham Six. Something someone interestingly told me that I didn't know is that one of the Birmingham Six died in prison. Well, I didn't know that. So when they came out, there's only 5 of them because one of them was already dead. So that's the kind of odds, that's the kind of stakes that you're dealing with in these situations. I keep talking about the Birmingham Six as if they were exonerated and they all came out of prison. No, one of them died in prison. So that was someone called Julie that told me that. So thank you for posting that in the comments. That was very interesting. Hi to Caddy Lady. Evening, just defrosting an ice block over here. Well, it's been a lovely day today. I've been to the sea today. Sky was absolutely cloudless, crystal blue sea, beautiful, lovely weather. Hi to Tetchy Mum. How are you feeling about your impending book release? Are you nervous, excited, both? All will be well. There is an extraordinary large body of people behind you now. Thank you. I think I really appreciate that. Yeah, you know what? When you wait for something to happen for ages and ages and ages and you want it to happen and then it happens, it's a bit surreal. So I wrote a letter to Lucy's parents today. I posted it today. And that is just to tell them, look, this is going to be in the news again, probably. And the book's coming out. And, I feel as a courtesy, I should write to you and let you know that. You don't need to write back to me. And then obviously I've said a few more things. And that's the first time I've not had any contact with Lucy, not had any contact with their parents. I just felt I should write them a letter. But when I wrote I was writing the envelope and, I wrote Mr. and Mrs. Letby and then their address. I was like, okay, this is getting pretty real now. So I don't feel nervous yet. Obviously, there's been some exciting moments down the track, but I'm trying to stay calm because, I've still got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm going to do stuff related to the book as well. So I am pleased, obviously. Seeing it printed today was great. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be a little bit nervous when it comes out, but I think people are going to enjoy it. And think that it has merit as a text. I certainly hope so. Ultimately, you have to, if you're a writer, when you write, anything really, but particularly something of book length, you have to be ready to just put it out there and let people say whatever they want. That's just part of the deal. So it's like recording an album. It's like making a film. It's like doing anything. You want people to love what you've done, but you don't have any control over that. That's not in your hands. All your hands is to just do the best job you can. And then once you've done the best job you can, you gotta. It's like playing poo sticks. I don't know if you know that game from Winnie the Pooh. You just throw the twig in the stream, and then you just let it float, and that's all you can do. Hi to So Hard. Says, evening all, congrats on finishing the book, Chris. Yeah, it felt pretty good. So I've got to say, when I finished the audiobook, that was really nice. I did the last little bit and I was like, glad that's over. I mean, I'm glad I did it. And it's an interesting experience. And maybe I'll do another one in the future, who knows? But yeah, it was hard work. And I wasn't sorry when I finished. Just going to close the door. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was nice to get it in the can. I'm not going to lie. It was nice to get it behind me. You spoke very well at 19 Nurses, looked like a natural, and has got me even more excited for the book. Well, glad to hear that. I hope people enjoy reading it. I I don't know if I'm a natural public speaker. I just tried my hardest, and I obviously I've had a lot of experience talking on here, which helps. And then it was it was nice that everyone gave me a little round of applause before I started. That was kind of cute, and yeah, I enjoy doing it. So I'm happy to speak again in the future. I'm sure I'll do more stuff of that nature here and there. Hi to Yalda, good to have you here as always. Hi to Anya, nice to have you here. Let her go. We're all waiting for that day. I'm glad you've all enjoyed seeing Kiko. Um, yeah. Hi to Denise, glad to have you here. Glad you're here. Hi to Black Squirrable. Glad you've enjoyed Keeks. She's a mascot. Keeks is more famous than me. I mean, Keeks is more well known in the campaign. I'm just a secondary figure at this stage. I mean, I'd love to bring her. I'd love to bring her to a meeting. And I guess I couldn't. But I particularly couldn't bring her to this one because if I'd have spoke and Keeks was in the room and she couldn't sit on top of me or sit next to me, she'd just cry, and that would have been very disconcerting. So it's just one of those things. But maybe one day some of you will meet her. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for the comments on my speech. I really appreciate that. I just do the best I can. Susanna Councils is saying her name is Deborah, so I'll try to remember that. But yeah, I tried my best with the pronunciation. Cherry Cupcake says, has this been the toughest book to write? Probably. So I have written 2 novels. I'd say as a writer, fiction is the ultimate challenge because you just sit there with your imagination and you've got to come up with something. There's certain tricks of the trade you can use to write fiction, and there's certain things you can do to make it a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, you just sit there with a blank page and you've just got to come up with something. So that is challenging. I think this was the hardest book to put together because, as I mentioned and as I discussed in London, the weight of research is enormous, and then you're constantly going back to change things. And actually, we did multiple drafts of this book, which I never do. I never need to do. But for this, it was necessary for numerous reasons. So the writing, obviously I've finessed and crafted the writing as much as I could, and I'm very happy with the final product. But it wasn't like a book where you just sit there and write. It was like write a bit. Obviously I did a first draft and a second draft. I did. After I'd done the first draft already, there was loads of stuff that happened. So then I did a second draft, and that was the basis. That was the foundation of the book, the template, really. But then it's just been months and months and months of going back and changing things, tweaking things, addressing things, adding things. So that's what made it hard. I think it wasn't hard in terms of the actual writing, but it was getting to the final product. It was hard. And probably was the hardest I've had to do. The unit, the Countess, has just been demolished. The family member share pictures. Yeah, I've seen it been demolished. I know some people are saying, it should be preserved for various reasons, but we don't have the power to do that. We can't speak to the hospital. The hospital won't say anything. So, it's a tragic situation because that unit should not have been in operation. We know it shouldn't have been in operation. It's all very avoidable. Very avoidable indeed, I would say. Heard the interview with Amanda Knox and parents who had a baby at the Council of Chester. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, it was really powerful, wasn't it? I'm hoping, I can't promise this, but I'm hoping that I might be able to get them on this channel. There's a possibility, but obviously that will very much depend on them. I don't want them to feel like every journalist is jumping on them and that they're in the middle of a media circus. And ultimately, it's a sensitive topic for them. So I'll only do it if they feel right about it, and we'll see. But there's a possibility they could come on. You deserve a long holiday very soon. Well done. Yeah, I can sleep when I'm dead. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, this year I'm probably not going to have a holiday because or conventional holiday because I need to be around for various things. But I think next year I will go away at least once, maybe a couple of times. Yeah, we'll see. Simone says she's going to read the book in our book club, so hopefully it will convince more people. I mean, that's great. That's so nice to hear. But to have something that you've written be shared in this way and discussed in this way is, a real privilege. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope your friends enjoy it. Do let me know how it goes, whether it's via this medium or you can email me, of course. I'll be interested to see what they make of it, of course. Hi, Kathleen, who's in Bangor County Down. Good to have you here as always. Sue in foggy Pembrokeshire. Well, that's unfortunate because it's been absolutely crystal clear sky today. It was really one of the most beautiful days you could ever have in Britain, I think. So I'm sorry it's a bit foggy, but hopefully it shouldn't be cold this time of year anyway. Hi to JIJI, I think it is. My eyesight's on the way out. JIJF maybe it is. Excited about the book launch, sending love and support from France. Thanks for joining from France. We really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you're excited about the launch. Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out. What is it? Today's the 19th, so it's 20. Oh, it's exactly 3 weeks, isn't it? 21 days from today. So 21 days and counting. So we're in the kind of like the Advent period of the countdown now. Hi, Chris. First live I've joined, but been watching you for a while and got your book on order. I'm in Cornwall. Oh, great. I hope you're having a good time down there. I'm closer to Cornwall than I usually would be. So I hope you're well down there, and thanks for joining. Good to have you here. Mark says, has everyone you've met been kind and positive, or have you encountered any negative people? Well, no. I mean, because I'm at events, people are, very positive about everything, very, very kind, very, very supportive. People say lovely things to me, which is all very nice. I'm sure there's a possibility I'll encounter someone negative at some point, but at the end of the day, I'll just talk to them like I do to anyone. I'll just say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Here's why I've written the book, etc., etc. It's there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just putting myself out there, and people can say whatever they want. I don't require people to be nice about me. All I would ask is that people come to the topic and people come to the book with an open mind. And I believe if you come with an open mind, you can have a very hard time getting to the end of that book and then saying it's a safe conviction. That's just my personal view. But yeah, if people want it, it's not a rally. It's not like some political rally where everyone has to agree with me and everyone has to cheer me. People are entitled to come up to me and say whatever. I've been called worse, whatever it is. Don't worry. I'm glad you like the poo sticks analogy. I hope people are. It's a bit of a. I don't know how well known. I don't know how well known poo sticks is nowadays, but I feel like it's a little bit obsolete in this day and age. But when I was a kid, we used to play poo sticks. Hi, Claire. Hope you're well. Joining late from yoga. Did I miss Kiko? You've missed Kiko. Yes, sorry. Kiko will be in the recorded version, and who knows when we'll get to see Kiko again. We may get to see her soon. She's pricking her ears up now, like, are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? Can we review the book on Amazon even if we didn't buy it through them? No. So you need a registered purchase. What I would suggest, you don't have to do this, of course, but if you've bought a physical copy, you could buy the audiobook through Amazon. And review the audiobook. It all just counts as reviews. So if people would like to do that, I would love for you to do that and forget. It is critical for us to get as many reviews as possible. That's what thrusts it into the mainstream. That's what makes a big algorithmic difference. So if you can do that, and also if you bought on Amazon, if you could buy another copy through, if you want to, you don't have to, of course. But if you wanted to buy a second copy, if you could buy one through another platform, for example, Waterstones, then you could review it through Waterstones. Or if you could use a different account to buy a second copy, then you can review it with your second account, whatever. But it's important to maximize reviews. That's critically important. Have reviewed stuff I didn't buy from Amazon on Amazon in the past. Yeah, but they've clamped down on that quite a lot. So I would say ideally you need to buy it. I don't think it'll work properly if you don't. So that's just my advice. Alex says, I'm so looking forward to your book coming out, especially the microbiology chapter. I have an MSc in biomedical sciences and specialize in microbiology. I've learned so many new things from you. Oh, well, that's nice to know. I mean, obviously indirectly from me, I would say. So Alex has been sharing stuff with me through email, which is very much appreciated. I haven't been in a position to do any kind of guest-based content for a while. I just felt you've got to draw the line somewhere, Chris. You can't be chasing people around, doing the meetings, doing all the prep. You'll have to leave interviews out for a while. So I will do some more. I will do some more interviews at some point soon. I've got many in mind, but I just haven't got around to it. Hi, Grand Chris. Just a quick point. None of the 6 died in prison. I went to 1991 appeal on the Monday and saw them all in the dock. They were released on the Thursday that week. It's on YouTube. Well, I thought that one of them had died in prison. Right, hold on a second. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why, but I got a very bad answer from, I don't know. I'm going to have to research this further when I've got more time. But yeah, I'll take your point. Yeah, it sounds like you're right. But I'll have to look into this some more. We saw David Davis at UCL. Did you chat to him? I didn't actually, because he was on the balcony, wasn't he? I think, and I was right in the front row in the corner. So I didn't speak to him on this occasion, but it was nice to see him there. I know he's had some health stuff, so I'm sure I'll speak to him again in some point in the future, hopefully. But yeah, I'm glad you got a chance to speak to him, and he's been great. We're supporting the campaign. We're enormously privileged to have him. Hi to Lynn. Hope you're well. The 2 parents that spoke on the Doubt podcast has come forward on X today and put Deb straight. Yeah, I know. Let's not talk about her. But yeah, I did see that. Hi Graham. Hi Chris. Looking forward to your book. Have you had time to listen to Amanda Knox? Yes, I have. I did listen to it a couple of days ago, and I think it brought home as well the trauma that the parents of the infants must have been through, which is awful because you could see it was and hear that it was traumatic for these parents with their infant that is surviving is very healthy. So, yeah, I enjoyed the episode and they said some really great things. And as I say, if I can get them on here, I will. I don't know if that's going to be possible. It will really depend on whether they want to do it. And if they don't, that's absolutely understood. I completely understand the reasons. So we'll have to wait and see. I couldn't find the latest Amanda Knox podcast. Heard it has an interview with some parents of babies involved. Right, just bear with me a second. I'll find it for you. It's because it's kind of hidden, the way that they've put it on the page. Right, here we go. Right, so this was so hard to find a good user handle who's making this comment. So I've just put that in the comments at whatever time it is now. Must be about 7:36, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why, but they didn't do a very good job of publicising that. But anyway, it is there. So hopefully you can listen to it now. Played Pooh Sticks last weekend with my kids still alive and kicking. Well, it's good to hear. Good to hear in this age of technology that a simple thing like just putting a stick in a stream has survived. It's good to know. I lost. I know it's a very frustrating game, Pooh Sticks. Some might say there's not an enormous amount of skill in that game, but it's I used to like playing it when I was a kid. Play with my dad and stuff. Hi Marie. Hope you're well. Will there be an opportunity to get a copy signed by yourself? I think it's very likely. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. Then we haven't planned this yet completely because there's so many things to do in pre-pub. So obviously signing the book is post-pub. So once the book is out, then we start to think about that, and then we'll start to arrange that. I have no idea what's going to happen, but if I can get to your neck of the woods, then I will by all means do a reading and meet people and sign some copies if they want my signature. Very happy to do that. It'd be good if ITV or the BBC interviewed you regarding your book. Well, you have to wait and see what happens. Chris, will the book be translated into other languages? Yeah, I get asked this question a lot. In an ideal world, yes. In practical terms, there's no immediate plans to translate the book because naturally the English language version has to be the priority. With that being said, it's something that I'd like to do. I'd like to do, like maybe a Dutch version, a French version, German version, Italian version, Spanish version. But that might be completely impossible. I think I can say that it should be feasible to do an ebook version in other languages. Doing a printed version may be impossible. Doing an audio version may also be impossible unless we get AI to do it, which is feasible. AI can do a very good job now. Obviously, I'm not going to sit there and go, bonjour. I mean, my French is abysmal. I can just about read a menu in French. I can just about read. I did used to have a girlfriend who lived in Paris, and I got to the point where I could almost read a French newspaper. I had to say, what does that mean? And it helps if there were pictures for context. But talking to an actual French person, absolutely no chance. But yeah, my foreign languages are not good enough for me to translate medical terms and then read them out and get the pronunciation right, etc., etc. So it would have to be AI if we did an audiobook in French, German, Italian. I guess Dutch would be another good one as well, of course, because of Lucia de Burke. So we will think about that. But I can't promise anything. But if we can do that, yeah, we'll make it happen. So Marie says, I've ordered my books from Amazon, Audible, and via your link so that I could spread my reviews. So that's really much appreciated. We appreciate your support. Hi to Galp and Galp, who's looking forward to the book. Appreciate that. House of Dragon 3431. Have you started writing the sequel to your book? Is sequel the right word? So I've promised myself that I won't start writing another book until 2027, but I will probably break that promise. What I can say is I've got loads of offers from people already to write books with them and ghostwrite and co-author, and I've got my own ideas. So basically, I think I'm just going to be writing until I die, which is my dream life, really. I don't know if I can't remember if I've discussed this previously, but one of my fears is that one day I'll be in palliative care halfway through a book and I won't be able to finish. And it's kind of obviously I'll just give it to. I'll make sure there's another writer out there. I'll connect with them and I'll say, "There you go, finish it off." But yeah, I will be writing a lot more books. Don't worry. And There'll probably be more books on Lucy's case. There'll probably be more books on criminal justice in this country. I've got an idea related to criminal justice that is a bit different to what you might expect that I'd really like to do. There's other stuff in the pipeline that could happen. A lot of stuff has happened to me, particularly at 19 Nurses. I was recognised a lot. Obviously, I've been recognised at previous ones a lot, but this one really a lot. And loads of people came up to me and gave me their cards, and I've got, So Lord only knows what's going to happen to me in the future, but there will be more. There'll be more books. Don't worry. Yeah, so hard to find. Yeah, I know. The Apple Music. They didn't list it very clearly for some. Why they don't list it clearly? You think it's pretty easy to just make a list of podcasts and put them in order, but no, they made it as difficult as possible to actually find this recent one. Did the father not die in prison, but he was convicted of something else, not to do with the Birmingham bombings? Yeah, I think there is definitely someone who's died in prison. I thought it was one of the Birmingham 6, but apparently maybe it wasn't. But we'll have to have a look at this. I think one of the Birmingham 6's dad is one that died. He was arrested in London after coming over to help. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, someone associated with them has died for sure. Yeah, that would make sense. I thought it was one of the Birmingham 6, but yeah, maybe I got some duff information there from someone. But yeah, not to worry. Hi, Ruth. Glad you're here. Good to have you here as always. Interview by Judith Moritz. Not sure about the BBC. Well, I think the BBC will be less likely, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I remember Pooh Sticks, Tiddly Pom. Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad people remember it. It was. I mean, my favourite's Paddington. I must say, Paddington was always my favourite. I always wanted to get a duffel coat like Paddington, and I never got one. I had a Parker, which is a bit of a disappointment, but I love Paddington. The older ones, I've seen some new ones, and they're not bad, but the older ones. I've forgotten who narrates it now, but is it Michael Bond? Because he wrote it, didn't he? But yeah, the old narrated ones with the two in 2 dimensions in old London. Although I remember watching one, seeing a bit of one recently, and they got in a taxi in London, and it was like 12 pence. I thought, okay, these have aged a bit. Hi, Christine. Hope you're well. Good to have you here. Seeing you're still at your friends. Is Doggy with you? She's down here. If you watch the recording, she made an appearance, but she's settled down now. But yeah, good to have you here. Glad you're here. Black Squirrel, you could put it through AI LLM and get proofreaders to check it over. Yeah, that's possible. I'm sure we can come up with a solution. I just don't want to promise anything at this stage because naturally we have to stick to the English version for the foreseeable future. But yeah, well, I can't. So Mark's saying, if your book is translated into other languages, we would require you to do all the audiobooks, otherwise people would feel cheated. There's no prospect that's going to happen because what might be possible is to clone my voice with an AI system and then get my voice to read it out, cloned by AI in French, Italian. That's possible. Whether that would happen, I don't know, but that is theoretically possible. It is not theoretically possible for me to read out a very complex book in a foreign language, I'm afraid. I just couldn't do it. I don't know any of the pronunciations. You've heard me trying to do stuff on this channel, and that's like just a page. It would half kill me to do the English one. There's no way I can do one in Dutch. Hi, Julia. Good to have you here. Glad you could join. I can't speak French, but I can speak gobbledygook. Yeah, that's probably about my level as well. Like ordering breakfast on a good day, I can do. Maybe directions, maybe reading things a little bit. That's about my limit. Hi, Patrick. Glad to have you here. Great to see a live broadcast. Yeah, good to have you here. Do you know how many pre-sales there are? Henry asks. I don't know precisely, but it's thousands. I don't know exactly. I pre-ordered your book about 2 months ago. I appreciate that. Appreciate all of your support. It means a lot. Brain in use warning. I feel like you're underestimating possibilities. I'm fine translating the book into Hungarian. I'm fairly sure there are other native speakers following the case. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I don't want to commit to it. I don't want to say, oh yeah, we're definitely going to do a Hungarian version when, I don't know what's going to happen exactly. But if we can translate it, we will, I'm sure. It's just, yeah, it's just, I just don't want to say, yeah, we'll definitely do a French version. We'll definitely do a German version. We'll definitely, because I don't know. I just don't know. But all I can say is I'd like to do those things. And if we can, then we'll do it. And yeah, you're right about Dutch people speaking English. And of course, they're pretty good in Germany. And they tend to be pretty decent in France. I guess Spain and Italy, I've not spent a huge amount of time there, but I get the impression they're not as good. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm glad you're looking forward to your book, and I'm really glad you could catch a live stream. Someone said no more ghostwriting for you, methinks, Sunshine. I reckon you're going to be quite famous after this. Well, yeah, I know that this is going to change my profile. That's fairly clear. But I will work with people if people have a good idea and I feel I can do it. I feel I can execute it, and we can work together, and we can come up with an agreement. Then I will consider ghostwriting still, but ghostwriting has been my bread and butter. I think you're right in saying that authoring books under my name will probably be my bread and butter going forward. I think that's a fair comment. The latest 19 Nurses UCL seminars were brilliant. Well done. Yeah. I mean, only one of them is me, so I don't really deserve the credit particularly. But yeah, they're all good. They're all very good talks. Yeah, I agree. It was a good event. It's lovely to meet everyone, and yeah, it's just really nice. It was Giuseppe from Guildford 4. So one the Guildford 4 died as well. I didn't actually know that. But yeah. Oh, nice stream ending, I guess. Yes, please. Criminal injustice. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do more in this space for sure. I've got a really good idea that I've not told no one. So I'm just going to keep it to myself in case I can't make it happen. But if I do make it happen, I think it'll really interest you. And it's not related to Lucy, but it's in the same ballpark while being a bit different. So I thought it would kind of tick every box of like people will be expecting me to do something related to law and order, but I'd like to do something interesting that isn't just going over the same thing, but that engages people and maybe teaches you something you don't know. Definitely probably be doing more on Lucy's case in the future. Obviously, YouTube will keep going, but I would like to do something a little bit different for my next one, but we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you for listening to my channel, Julia. I really appreciate that, and thank you for liking the videos. It helps. Hi to Graham. I've been listening to the Amanda Knox podcast series. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. It's been very good. Hi to Rachel. When did your live start? So we started at 7 today. The simple reason for that is that I'm knackered. I don't want to stay up late. so at 9 o'clock I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to go to bed probably, or have a bite to eat, then go to bed. Maybe have some chocolate. Yeah, so you're here for most of it, the majority, Rach, but I will. Yeah, it's all going to be recorded, so it will be there for you at some point. Yes, there's a few people said the Guildford 4 someone died, but I'm thinking, I just asked. Basically, I didn't have time to look it up, so I just asked AI, and AI's given me some duff information. I'm noticing that publicity is growing rapidly, and hopefully it will even more when your book comes out. I mean, that's the intention, of course. The intention is to contribute to the growing awareness of the case and convince some more people, because I mean, I know more and more people are coming over to our side. I mean, it's already the majority now. It just needs to be bigger and bigger numbers. And yeah, hopefully it'll help. That's the intention. And obviously to tell, not just that, but to also, if I may say so, to educate people who don't have the time to sit down and look at every single thing in the way that I have. Hopefully, they will be able to learn something from this book. Interview with Dr. David Bull and watch him squirm. So I've commented. So that got recommended to me today. Actually, that video by Solomon Sounds, is it? I think. I thought she did so well in what was a very pressurized situation. It's not easy talking on a TV program at the best of times, and obviously she's putting forward a controversial view, and the hosts were hostile. So overall, it was quite tricky, but I thought she did really, really well, and I've told her that. So yeah, it was an interesting. I bet he doesn't feel quite so certain about it now. Paddington narrated by Michael Hordern, apparently. Well, there you go. Because I know, isn't I think they're written by Michael Bond, aren't they? The Paddington stuff. Let's have a look. It was always one of my favorite kind of Michael Bond. Yeah. So I don't know who I don't know who Michael Hordern is. So in the live action films, yes, Sir Michael Hordern. Yeah, never heard of him. He did a good job though. Saw your video about the massive amount of work that goes into audiobook studio work. There's a lot of hard work involved. Yeah. I knew it would be hard. I didn't go into it blind. I went into it knowing it would be hard work, but it was harder than I thought. It sounds crazy, but it's not just the hard work. You know, if you everyone's done long days, everyone's done long working days at some point, but you have breaks. And we had more breaks as I went along, but I had to make sure I got in a position where I knew we were going to finish. So I managed to do that. But really, say if you set yourself like an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half, however much it is, to read the book, you've got to read the book. You don't read the book and then stop for a bit. And no, you just do it and do it and do it. And then it's not only that, but also, I'm sure every person here, or certainly 99% of you, has had a meal and then crashed after lunch. You can't crash after lunch. You've got to do it exactly the same way you did before lunch. So, there's lots of, like, your throat dries out, so you've got to hydrate yourself. But if you hydrate yourself too much, you need to go to the toilet. So there's like an optimal amount of hydration you need. And same with just eating the right foods so that you stay alert. But not, if you don't eat enough, you're hungry, and then you can't concentrate. But if you eat too much, you're bloated, and you need to, and it's not one of those things where you think, oh, well, I worked hard this morning, so this afternoon I'll just toss it off. You can't do that. So it was a little bit harder than I was expecting, but I got there in the end. Actually, I did finish pretty early. We finished a good few hours before. I had an early day on the last day, but yeah, it's definitely, and I managed to average 100 pages a day, roughly. So I did okay. And the guy said I did well. It's very difficult for me to assess because you just do your best. And I've never recorded one before, and I've not heard it, and I don't know how other people do it. But yeah, you're just locked in this soundproof room. No one bothers you, and you just crack on, really. But yeah, it's hard work. Can Dr. Gill speak Dutch? I'd be very surprised if he can't, because he moved to the Netherlands when he was 18. And he's a very intelligent guy. So I'd be extremely surprised if he doesn't speak fluent Dutch. I think you're overcomplicating things, Chris. They could just get a French actor or whatever nationality, like they get good English actors to do our audiobooks. So the problem with that is, if you have to pay an actor, you're not going to make the money back from the sales necessarily. So it would have to be a very low cost project. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. Because how many people are going to want this book in French or Italian or Spanish or German? I'd say a pretty small number. So it's got to be basically a zero cost enterprise. But trust me, we will look at it as much as we can. And if we can make it happen, it'll happen. So Rachel used to be a singing teacher. Well, that's amazing. I think I maybe have the worst singing voice in the Western world, or possibly the entire planet. I mean, my singing is awful. I'm tone deaf, so if you get me to sing in a half decent way, that'll be a testimony to your ability. I'll say that. But I do my best. I think I'm not too bad at projecting my voice in this form. But yeah, I can't sing. That's for sure. If you're going to pay for a human to translate it accurately, it's worth paying someone else to give a good reading. So yeah, so I kind of discussed this. Hi Chris, how about going on LBC? Sheila Fogarty or James O'Brien? I've ordered your book and talking to a lot of my friends about the case, your book and your YouTube channel. Annie, thank you, Annie. I really appreciate that. Let me make a note of that because I believe you've said that before, and I'm not sure I made a note of it. So let me just make a note of this. Yeah, I seem to have a lot of emails I haven't read. That's my life. It's just my life is just an array of unread messages and emails that I haven't read yet. What's this thing called? Hold on, I've forgotten what it's called already. LBC. Yeah. Good. That was a really good suggestion. Yeah, I'll just do that for now. Sorry about this. I just need to make a note of this and make sure someone deals with it. Right. Okay. If you had the privilege of an interview with Lucy, what would be your opening question? Wow, that's a good question. That's probably the best question I've ever been asked because that's an unbelievably difficult question to answer. I suppose a logical thing you would say would be, how are you coping with your freedom? How are you transitioning to being in the outside world? I think that's would be the most logical way to start. Yeah. That would be what you want to know first, I think. A Lucy Witch Trial postbox topper thing appeared. Yeah, I've seen the Shrewsbury Town Centre thing. That's pretty cool, wasn't it? I like that a lot. I wonder if people will understand it, but it was amusing for us for sure. Yeah, I appreciate that, Rach. We'll definitely discuss that at some point because you've got a good story to tell. So we'll definitely discuss it at some point. Yeah, I know the presenters on LBC are not overly keen on giving you a airtime, but they're worth considering. Jerry Conlon, one of the Guildford Four's dad, died while Jerry was in prison. Yeah. Hit the like button, please. Yes, if people want to like the video, that's always appreciated and helpful. Chris, Giuseppe Conlon, the father of Jerry Conlon, the Guildford Four, died in prison in 1980. He had been arrested and was convicted in the Maguire 7 trial, which was related. I did not know that, you see. So do some more likes if you wish. It's entirely up to you. I think you deserve some chocolate. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I probably will have some before I go to bed. Come on now, place all your bets. Will the live stream finish at 9, 10, or 11? We'll see. I mean, I will start to get tired after 9, so we'll see how it's going. But yeah, we're at 8 now, so we're theoretically halfway through, but we'll see how it goes. Would you write about the Madeleine McCann mystery? Good question. Probably not, because there must be books out there about Madeleine McCann by now. I mean, this has been going on for how long? I don't really think I could add anything of any real interest to the story of Madeleine McCann at this point in time. So I'm sure I could write a competent book about it, but whether I could really add anything that means anything to anyone, I don't know. So probably not. You're always looking for a fresh angle or a fresh story. How you would do a fresh angle on Madeleine McCann at this point, I've no idea. It's definitely not a fresh story, so probably not. But I know it's something that interests many people. So yeah, probably not. But hi to Sarah. Sorry I'm late, Chris. Not a problem. How are you? I'm very well. I've got a little bit of my energy back now. I've had some good sleep. We're settled in here, and the weather's been beautiful today. And we've been down to the sea. And I cooked spaghetti bolognese this evening for everyone, and it's good. I'm very well. I've been enjoying arguing with people in the comments section, but I'm not sure I was able to change any minds. Let's talk of the post-it note now, which is reassuring. Yeah, I mean, that should be over, obviously. There should be no further discussion of the post-it note at all. You have to remember that a lot of people just hear about this at the time and then they don't look at it ever again. So certainly the gentleman who was in my headphones when I recorded the audiobook, he had literally just heard about it on the day that Lucy Letby was convicted or at the time, and he had not given it any consideration or thought, and he didn't have the slightest idea that it obviously we believe it definitely is a miscarriage of justice, but he didn't know it even could be a miscarriage of justice. And I remember telling a friend that I used to coach to play chess. I told him about it, and he knew nothing. And he'd listened to the Daily Mail podcast a bit. He said it was a load of rubbish, but when I told him, he was very receptive immediately. And he, I'm just waving to my friend there because she just came in the room. Hello. She's saying hello. Yeah, he was very receptive immediately. So I think most people do have an open mind, even if they don't know that much about it. So it's just literally getting the numbers and getting in front of people. I think convincing people is not a problem, and it's only a very trivial number of kind of, very well. You pick your own word. I won't describe them. So shall we say determined people online that are obsessed with guilt? I would say most people come to it with an open mind now. When you come to an open mind, you all know what happens. Really enjoy your live interactive YouTube streams. Really flows. Learn so much and so many good people. Great. I mean, I really appreciate that. When I was really reticent to do one initially because I didn't know if I could do it, and I've never done it before, and I didn't know if I'd be able to fill the time, but I didn't know if anyone would turn up. So yeah, the fact I get hundreds of people every time, and it's really appreciated. So yeah, I try to do one every so often. I was chatting to a colleague recently. We both work in adult ICU. I think Lucy Letby is a victim of miscarriage of justice. My colleague thought an exogenous insulin test convincing evidence of guilt. Thoughts? Yeah. So please, if you can, please put my book in front of them and the insulin chapter, because that's not a clear. I can understand why he might think that way, but it's not a clear picture. I haven't been able to discuss the insulin as much as I could. Sorry, not as much as I could, as much as I would like to. But I have done a pretty thorough chapter. So please do check that out, because it's been input from many experts. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that, but you're right about Stephen Fry. But Stephen Fry costs quite a lot of money. I haven't been able to talk about the insulin too much, but it is very thoroughly covered in the book with multiple experts, with new information and so forth. So hopefully that will convince people that believe the insulin testing is convincing evidence. If you know the full story of the insulin cases, then I really don't think it is even valid evidence. Excuse me, let alone convincing. So yeah, that's all I can say. So I thought Solomon Sound's video was great, as someone has suggested here. Problem with Madeleine McCann is that the parents' PR agency is vicious and will sue books out of publication. Yeah, I wouldn't write one anyway, because it's already been said, as you mentioned, Adrian. There's nothing I could say. There's nothing I could say that hasn't been said by someone else already. That's for sure. Has anyone asked this yet? How long did it take you to record the audiobook? I don't think they have, actually. So the audiobook will last, when you listen to it, for approximately 16 hours. The whole recording is 16 hours, 30 minutes, but it will be finessed by the producer for the final version, which will be somewhere between 16 and 16 hours, 15 minutes. It would have taken me maybe 23, 24 hours to record it, which doesn't sound that bad, does it? But it was, no, it's more than that. No, that's not right. So maybe 26 hours. So maybe I did about 6 hours. I don't know. Yeah, roughly around there, which doesn't sound that bad, but it's pretty intense. It really is quite intense. So if you imagine 26 hours of speaking out loud, but even now I'm not speaking out loud the way I am now. It's got to be. Has anyone asked this yet? How long did it take you to record the audiobook? That's just an example. That wasn't even very good. So I'm not saying the audiobook's brilliant. I did the best I could, but it's got to be clear. You've got to get the intonation right. You've got to get every pronunciation right. It gets roll back, roll back, roll back. If you move your hands slightly on your trousers, like I heard a noise, roll it back. It is intense. So yeah, it was hard work. It was hard work, but I'm glad I did it. Michael Horden was a very good actor. Was probably before your time, Chris. Right? Yeah, he was around doing Paddington though, so I don't know if he'd recorded it. I don't know when he lived and passed away, but yeah, he was very good on that. Could get the actor from Hello Hello. Yeah. What's his name? I can't remember his name now. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Hi, Chris, and everyone in chat. Hi, Martin. Good to have you here, as always. Hi, Patrick. Madeline went missing in 2007. Was it? It feels longer ago than that. 20 years, though. Sorry, Chris, couldn't edit. Meant advice about how to take care of your voice for the purpose of recording your audiobook. Hydration is one way, as you already mentioned, as well as no dairy, etc. So I have very little dairy because it upsets my stomach, milk. I do have cheese still. But yeah, people saying have honey and stuff like that. I found just, slow release carbs. And then I would have like in the afternoon, I'd have a little bit sugar early in the afternoon, and that would get me through till 4 or whatever time I finished. 4:30 we used to finish actually. And then I'd just go home and lie on my bed. I'll go back to the hotel, I should say. Yeah, it was. I learned my little methods for getting through it, but yeah, it was hard work. Yeah, I can't really talk about the McCanns, by the way, because I don't know anything about it. I know people have lots of strong opinions. I can't discuss it, and I don't really want to. But please discuss in the chat. You're very welcome to discuss in the chat, but I can't discuss it. Hi, Claire. Lovely to see you back. Congrats on 19 Nurses presentation, was excellent. Well, thank you, Claire. I did the best I could. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hello to Heidi. Sorry I missed the beginning. Are you starting to get excited about the book launch, or are you more nervous, or a mixture of both? So people have asked me this already. I'm quite calm, so I don't get nervous easily. Obviously, it's exciting to have this book out. I'm obviously still thinking about getting the launch right and doing everything we can between now and the launch and the early days of the book coming out. So I'm still working on it. But yeah, of course, it is. I mean, I saw, you didn't hear this earlier, but I've seen the physical book now. Not held it in my hand yet, but that was nice. It was nice to see that for sure. And I guess that I'll be a little bit nervous when on the launch and around the launch date, but I'll just have to. There's nothing you can do. Like I was saying earlier, it's like playing a game of poo sticks. You just throw your twig out there. That's it. You let the water carry it. So hopefully it'll be well received. But I did it won't be for lack of hard work. I worked very hard on it. Would you consider investigating the Meredith Kircher case? I don't know anything about it. It's very unlikely. I know it's been out there for a long time. I must confess I don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's 20 years old. Probably not because of how long it's been out there. If I'm going to do something related to a specific crime, it will be something new. Something, like a new angle, something that hasn't, it has to be something fresh. So to do Meredith Kircher when it's been done, same with like Jeremy Bamber or, there are definitive books out there. So probably not. Sorry, Meredith. How many hours would you say went into the book? How long did it take you? So because of the nature of the subjects, it was like doing new drafts and doing new drafts and doing new drafts all the time. So, in that respect, it took years to do. I'd say about 2 years from start to. It was. I think it would be 2 years and 1 month actually from the very start. If I'm going to do a book, I've made a decision. I don't know if I've ever shared this, but I was very strongly thinking about it anyway. And then Peter Hitchens wrote in one of his columns, someone could write a book about this. And I thought, that sounds like a challenge. So that was 2 years of my life got into it, basically. Of course, I've done a lot on YouTube during that time as well. Maybe it would have been a little bit quicker if I hadn't done YouTube, but the two processes are very much fed each other. So a lot of hours, a lot of hours have gone into it. I couldn't possibly put a number on it. It's well, if I was to say thousands, it's because with all the research as well, you do so much research for this book and you read everything you possibly can. You speak. If there's an opportunity to speak to someone, I spoke to them, even if it's for one paragraph. So I tried everything I could to make it the best that I possibly could. So it's thousands of hours of work, no doubt. So it's comment about Brewery here. Yeah, I don't know about Lucy's. Keeks, will you move, please? Move. All right. Hello. Keeks is just down there between my legs. Yeah, the whole situation in the hospital is just so strange to me because I don't think I'm ever going to properly understand. I don't think it even is possible to understand why they went for Lucy so quickly and so what maybe ruthlessly is not the right word, but with such apparent determination, even when it just feels like it's such an enormous risk for them, and they must be a little bit nervous now, you would think. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever properly understand that, and I don't think they will. I don't think anyone will ever understand it. Yeah. So I'm not. There's a comment here. His work is really good. He hasn't published the book, so they would have to sue him rather than the publishers, and he will fight back and embarrass them publicly. So I don't think that's related to me. I'm not sure what it is, but hey, Chris, do you benefit if I use an Audible credit to get your audiobook, or would I have to buy a physical copy? I have no idea how remuneration works on Audible whatsoever. I don't understand it. Sorry, but if you obviously anyone who wants to buy the audiobook and the physical book would be appreciated. I will say this: an enormous amount of effort went into the physical book and a lot of effort went into the audiobook. So anyone that wants to buy both would be appreciated, but you certainly don't have to. Chris, you've created a wonderful community. Well, yeah, I'm quite proud of that actually, because I set out to do that, and I didn't set out to be known in this way, but it's worked really well. So thanks to everyone for being here. Remember to get a holiday somewhere in the country with no internet. Keeps you sitting on my foot now, which is really helpful. Yeah. I will certainly have a holiday soon, in the relatively near future. But it's not going to be this year, probably. I've pre-ordered the book, but will buy more to donate to charity shops. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Ruth. Something to mention again is, if you can buy them from multiple platforms, if you can use multiple accounts so that you can review them, etc., this is all helpful. This is all good practice for us as a community, if you can do it, of course. Wow, I'll be listening over several days. Yeah, it's not a one-sitting book, I'm afraid. It's not going to be one you can just sit down and listen to like a radio program. It's hard work. It was hard work recording, and it's a long listen. But I tried to cover every base. Keeks, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't want you to have that. I do not want you to have that, Keeks. Thank you. Sorry about that. A certain dog was interrupting. You coming? Oh, look who's this. Look who it is. Who is it? Who is it? Is it Kiko down there? You coming to see me? Keeks, I'm not coming out. Don't stop stabbing me in the neck. It hurts. I know you don't know that, but it does. What do you want? Do you want something? Do you want a biscuit? She'll get you a biscuit. Right, you're gonna go through. When you go through for a bit. One. You go through. Here you go. Wait, you can spend some time in there now. Right, sorry about that. I've put Keeks in the other room now. She in my obviously when I'm in my own house, the room is prepared for Keeks. Whereas here, we've made the house as Kiko proof as possible, but she's just a demanding. I have it, so she just lies there and she's fine. But she was being a bit of a pain. So I hope you enjoyed seeing her. She's a great dog. She's amazing. 16 hours finished. Wow, you did work hard. Yeah, it was hard work. And it's a tricky book to read. There's a lot of medical pronunciations and a lot of abbreviations that I had to remember so I could read them out loud for the audiobook. So it was hard work, but my producer was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I don't suppose 1 second he'll hear this, but he was so good. He really walked me through it and really handheld me when I was doing it for the first time. So yeah, but yeah, it is really hard work, no doubt. I saw a Facebook post said she must be guilty because imagine those poor parents. Yeah. We do need, obviously, it's very sad for the parents. The tragedy of this case is there can never be a happy ending because, there's still been terrible medical errors. People have lost children. Lucy's lost a massive portion of her life. All we can do is get the best result possible for everyone involved and, hope that we can learn some lessons from this. It's not going to be a happy ending, but if there's a big cause, a big important cause that is worth fighting for, then you've got to do it. And I was able to help with this, so I'm more than happy to do that. I'm just coming at the end of live chat from New Zealand. We'll watch again from the beginning. Thank you, Chris. I'm looking forward to reading your book. Yeah. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. I guess I should mention, in the spirit of comradeship with our friends, that New Zealand are beating England in the second test cricket quite comfortably at the moment. It looks very likely they're going to win that test match. So let's go a bit further down. Must say, Chris, you have the best name in the world. Or Chris is well-known fact we are the best. That's just from Christine. Yeah. I don't mind my name, actually. It must be awful if you get lumbered with a name that you don't like. But I don't mind my name, so yeah. Michael Horden was good in Where Eagles Dare, broadsword calling Danny Boy and whistle and I'll come to you. Fair enough. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Sorry, do not forget to take Kiko. Yeah. Can't wait to get my physical copy. If you are doing a signing nearby, I will come by for sure. Yeah, I'll try and get out to everyone. It's something I really want to do, obviously. So Keeks is sulking now. Hold on. Come on, then. You're like an ill-sitting hen, Keeks. That's what you are. We can't have you crying, can we? No, we can't. Look, what's happening? So I'm going to... Keeks, what do you want? Do you need a wee? Do you need wee-wees? Right, she needs a wee. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. So you see how little Keeks interrupts usually? That's how organised you have to be for this to happen. Otherwise, she does this. The problem we've got here as well is she can constantly see the garden. So she's constantly looking out the window thinking, oh, I could go in the garden. Yes, you could, Keeks. You could. That's absolutely true. Apparently, USA scored after 12. Is that 12 minutes in? Or is it the second half? Let's have a look at the latest score. I've not looked at the games today. Have people enjoyed the World Cup? I know you're not all football watchers. Yeah, it's 1-0 to USA after 11 minutes. Burgess own goal. Well, I never. They look a good team. They look decent. They're a good dark horse. They probably won't win it, but I think they could go quite deep. So I'll try and sort some signings out. That was the last comment. I just haven't had time, and it's a post pub thing. We're still sorting out the pre pub, so as soon as we know, I'll let you know. There's a four-legged creature who wants to come in a sec. She's already at the door. I better go and get her. Kate. In and out. Right. I hope you've enjoyed your second look at Kiko. Right, you just lie down there, babes. Good girl. So we'll try and sort out some book signings soon, for sure. Will your book be available in WH Smith? Just thinking of airports and reading on flights. We don't know. I don't know anyway. I hope so. It's really hard to say. I obviously would like it to be available in as many bookshops as possible, but I couldn't say for certain. I need to write a book on how to win friends and sleep with them. Well, that's for you to comment on. I don't know if I could comment on any further. John Kinsler, 19 Nurses, just posted a new video. It'll be good to look at. I'll check that out when I get a chance. Of course, I was there, but always enjoy listening, Ed says. Well, thank you. I mean, I try and make it as interesting as I can. They went for Lucy to cover their mistakes. A lot of people believe that, and I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that I don't know that for certain, and I wouldn't like to say that was definitely true. It can be true, but I just don't know why. I just don't know. I just don't know why they became so fixated so quickly. I wonder if the fact I think the Victorina Chua case had happened quite soon before that, and maybe that influenced their thinking. That's been one thought that I've had, but I really couldn't tell you why they did what they did. And I don't think they would necessarily be able to tell you either. Hi, Chris. Great. Hi, Liam. You all right? Great speech at the 19 Nurses event. Thank you. Appreciate it. Did the best that I could. It's been mentioned several times how unprecedented it was for a nurse to bring a grievance against consultants. Doesn't that tell us something about Lucy's character? Maybe. I think it tells us a lot about Lucy's character. I think what it tells us, it tells us two fundamental things. The first thing is, it really screams to me that if she believes that she's right about something, then she doesn't have any qualms about saying, I'm right and I'm going to stick to my guns, and that's it. It's certainly indicative of someone who's a strong character and maybe a bit stubborn even. I think as well, it does perhaps indicate a little bit of naivety, because you've heard Martin on this channel, you've heard other people talk about consultants on this channel. She was potentially putting herself in a vulnerable position, and we now know how vulnerable that position was. But I think that the fact she was willing to do that and brave enough to do that and thorough enough to win tells us a lot about Lucy. And it tallies with what I know about her from the people that I have met who've met Lucy. Do you know anything about this dossier on the Sun? No, I don't. I don't know anything. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Does the book have pop-up pictures? Surprisingly not. Surprisingly not. It's a little bit too big for a pop-up book when you see the size of it. I already ordered my hard copy of your book, but will probably listen to the audiobook when I'm at work. That seems to be how I digest most books these days. That's great. If you get the hard copy and the audiobook, that's great. As I say, if you can buy them across multiple platforms and leave reviews for each one, that's very helpful. Or get 2 accounts and leave 2 reviews. Anything like that is helpful. But I must say, obviously, I love the written word, and I do obviously want people to read the written book. But I do hope people listen to the audiobook because wouldn't like to think I did it for nothing because it was a slog. So I hope people do get both. That would mean a lot. Lucy was the obvious choice to cover their own negligence. Yeah. I mean, I completely understand that argument. We'll just never know. We'll never know for sure. I'm glad Chris's friends love Keeks as much as we do. Yeah. Everyone just falls in love with Keeks when they meet her. She's a very lovable dog. She's just sitting there staring at me now. Yeah, she's just very adorable and very good natured and very kind, and she learns quickly. And she's fun to be around. She's just a softie. Kiko wants a dental stick. My mate owns a butcher and a dog has a rubber bone. How tight is that? Yeah, Keeks gets plenty of good solid bones. Don't worry. One day I'll show you. I can't because I'm not in my house now. But one day I'll show you the collection of bones that I have under the coffee table in my house. It's a lot. Do I know what price the audiobook will be? No, I don't. Sorry. It's not me that sets that, and I have no idea. Sorry. If it's not on Amazon now, then I don't know. Sorry. Kiko is lovely. I love dogs. Yeah. They're the best. Keeks is the best. I have an hour and a half commute each way to work, so I'll be listening to the audiobook and having a hard copy for myself. That's great. I mean, it's really nice to hear things that people do. Someone on this channel said they were listening in Alaska to a podcast. I mean, that's amazing to hear. And people listen all over the world. So, yeah, it's always really nice to hear that you've your little routines and stuff. So, I hope you enjoy listening to the audiobook. I've done my absolute best to make it as good as it can possibly be. So, I think it's good. The gentleman said I'd done a good job. So. We'll see. I think what you need is a Kiko paw print stamp. So when you do your book stampings, you can stamp a Kiko paw as well. It's like that's amazing. What a great idea. Yeah, that's such a cool idea. There is a little surprise related to Kiko that you will all find out soon. But I won't give that away. Hi, Kath. Good to have you here. Glad you could join. The parents have suffered being told their babies were murdered, and yeah, it's awful for the parents. And I know I'm going to be asked about the parents, and rightly so. It's very difficult because, unfortunately, they've just been, in my view, led up the garden path. And the worst thing is, it's not even deliberate; it's just incompetence. This was so avoidable; it could have been stopped so many different times, in so many different ways, in so many different places, by so many different people, and everyone failed. And all the holes lined up like in that Swiss cheese model. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, tragic, shocking, depressing in many ways. But what is the silver lining in the dark cloud is all the amazing people that have come forward to question it. So that's all there is to it. We've got to do our best. But yeah, it's awful for the parents. It's awful for everyone. Of course it is. Absolutely awful. Who were the last three speakers? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But that was a good point you made. We'll come on to that in a second. Who were the last three speakers? I think one was Peter Hayes, I think. But yeah, it's a shame we had to end suddenly, but they were kicking us out when they say. But we got a lot of speakers in. I think maybe next time be a little bit less ambitious the number of speakers you can fit in, because I knew they were running late, so I made sure mine was perfect in terms of timing. But not everyone was able to do that. I think it'd be fair to say. Obviously, I'm quite a practiced speaker now, so I actually practiced my speech beforehand, and I did it in 10 minutes 51. So I thought, okay, you need to cut about a minute, and I cut 55 seconds. I did it in 9:56. So I'm pretty pleased with that. But not everyone is as practiced at doing that as I am. So maybe we need a little bit more leeway for people. Great speech at conference. Cannot wait for your book. I've ordered 2 more to send to judge because start bringing judge costs. I think they're going to be inundated. But yeah, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate the support. I really appreciate it. An authentic post stamp would add a lot of value to the signing. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. I don't know if I'm possibly going to have time to organise this, but it's an interesting notion that you bring forward. I will also be buying, if my friends and family that work in NHS, Kiko is gorgeous. When she comes on my screen, my dogs come and look. Yeah. Keeks gets a lot of compliments. Someone complimented the other day, and I said she gets a lot more compliments than me. I promise you. She gets compliments all the time. I don't see it as much as other people because she's my dog and I just love her. But she is quite a specimen, to be fair. So yeah, I'm super proud of her. Hi Chris, just joined chat now, but we'll catch up with the earlier section later. Glad I made it. Hi Kath, good to have you here as always. We really appreciate it. Just Google the postbox topper. Amazing. Well done to have knitted it. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I assure you it wasn't me. I can remember I can remember doing knitting in primary school, and I was only knitting a square, and I think the most I ever got to was 10 lines, and I kept making mistakes, and it got unpicked, and eventually I ended up with like 2 or 3 lines. I thought, I'm not cut out for this. I'm just not cut out for this. Knitting is hard. So whoever did that, that's my utmost admiration. So cute, you great. Oh, excuse me, took a bit of wind. So cute, you great daddy. Appreciate that. I do my best for her. I mean, she's my baby, so I just I give her everything I can. So yeah, I think she's happy. You happy with me, Keeks? That's a little tail whack. I think that means yes. I know a guy called John Thomas used to work. Yeah, Scotland versus Morocco tonight 11. Unfortunately, I will be in bed. I've been having some early nights, getting my sleep back. So good luck to Scotland because Morocco looks a very decent team, and they look, to be honest, I'll be very surprised if Scotland win. But if they get a point, they're basically through. 4 points is going to be enough for them. I'm a Southampton fan. Someone who plays for Southampton clearly has scored twice for Canada. I did not know that. Canada, wasn't there a big scrap in the Canada game for some reason? I haven't been watching I've not been, staying up till 2 o'clock. I watched the earlier games. I watched the England game. It was so good to see England play such an aggressive front foot game. They certainly made some mistakes. Keith, what do you want? Do you want to go back in there? No. What do you want? Do you want to go through there? I'm not coming. Oh, Keith, right. You can't have both, Keith. You can't have both. You can't both be with me and be in the front room, Keeks. It's got to be one or the other, because I'm here and the front room's there. So you got to make your mind up. Yeah. Hard work, this girl. Hard work. Michael Hood was also in Theatre of Blood with Vincent Price. Interesting. Yeah, so I was really pleased seeing them play a good front foot game where they played really aggressive, create loads of chances, looked very, very good. So obviously they need to sort the defence out. Didn't defend well. But that always the challenge for England, though, has been when they play better, the top teams, keeping the ball, controlling the game in midfield. That'll be the test for them. I think they'll go deep in the tournament. But whether they'll win it, they've always come up short against the biggest teams. Don't worry about the signings just yet. You're doing plenty. Yeah, I mean, I do want to do some though, but yeah, we're not worrying about them. We haven't had time. And we need to let the book build first and the momentum to build and for it to create an imprint. When it creates an imprint, then, hopefully book signings can begin. I like that you always put Kiko first. Well, yeah, she's always comes first in my life. Don't you, babes? Lisa Green cannot wait for them to land. Oh, yeah, can't talk about that. Let's go a bit further down. It's unprecedented for a nurse to bring a grievance against doctors. That says a lot about Lucy. I agree. Her sense of injustice. I agree. Maybe the doctor sense she wouldn't stay quiet about cock-ups. So they again, we just don't know. This is a distinct possibility. It's a distinct possibility that they. Here she is yet again. Hello, babes. You're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go, aren't you? You're gonna have to go somewhere else, aren't you? because this is barely a live stream about Lucy Letby. It's more of a live stream about Kiko, isn't it? At the moment, and that's not what we want, is it? We want Kiko to be important, don't we? I think I might have to take this live stream to another room. Keeks, just stay there. I can't do anything for you. You're going to have to stay in this room. I'm sorry about the situation, but just be quiet. Maybe the doctor sent you would. Yeah, I'm sorry, I read that one. The consultant's motivations are not provable. We all suffer from cognitive biases, as you rightly say. Well, I just think we'll never know. I think we'll never know why this happened. I don't think we'll ever know. And what I will disagree with is that they'll never make a public statement about it. They will have to, because when Lucy's exonerated, they're going to be under scrutiny. Lucy will be exonerated. That's baked into the cake. That will happen. It's just a case of when. Obviously, we want it to happen sooner rather than later. When Lucy's exonerated, the idea that they're just going to walk away and say, "Whoops, boy, our face is red. We're really embarrassed about it." No chance. They're going to come under scrutiny. And I don't know what they'll say, and I don't know what should happen, and I don't make any comment on that. All I do say is they're not going to be able to walk away. That's for sure. Let's go a bit further down. I'll order the audiobook too and do on different platforms and leave reviews. Thank you, Christine. Really appreciate it. Yeah, you're absolutely great. Your video about Lucy's so I did the video about Lucy's colleagues recently. So I think that's every statement of submit to the thorough inquiry from nurses. There is I think one more from Melanie? But those were the ones that were submitted in just after February 2025, maybe March 2025, I think it was. So they've all been submitted, and they all say that no one suspects anything, and there's quite a few clearly either explicitly or implicitly believe that Lucy was innocent. That says it all, doesn't it? Let's go a bit further down. Are you opposed to having people link your YouTube channel to opinion-based videos that we post about the case? Great job at 19 Nurses and really funny, subtle mention. Yeah, I'm glad you found that funny. I don't know. I'm not. If people want to, people can do whatever they want. Again, once you record stuff on YouTube, you can't control what happens to your material. Apart from the fact that if I would defend my copyright, if someone, loads of my videos have been clipped. That's absolutely fine. But if someone tried to pass my work off as their own, then I wouldn't be too happy about that, because I think that's rude. That would be the only thing. But otherwise, people can do whatever they want. I mean, it's not up to me to decide what you do with my videos. It's up to you. I just make them and hope people enjoy them. Oh my God, is she having puppies? No, she's just sulking, because usually what happens is when I do a live stream for Kate, she's lying on her bed. So here she's been lying on a mat on the floor, and what she's thinking is, I deserve more comfort than this. But when I try to send her into the more comfortable room, she's thinking, why isn't Daddy coming with me? This isn't fair. So she has to have everything her way. So that's why she's reacting. Next time we do one in this house, I'll try to organise so she's got the bedclothes to lie on, and everything will be fine then, hopefully. So good advice about the paw print stamp. I don't know if I'll do that, but it's a nice idea. It's truly depressing that something like this could happen. I think about my own kids, and it makes me feel sick. The world can do this to someone. Absolutely. And I felt that way too, and that's why I've invested my time in it. That's why I've tried to give what I can, because I have an inbuilt sense of injustice. And when I heard about this, I just thought, that feels like a decade ago now. It's only three years ago. It's not even 3 years ago. But I just felt it was an automatic reaction. I didn't even think about it. I just automatically felt I need to know about this case. I didn't even think about it. And it is because I just have a sense of injustice, and I hate injustice, and I hate it when people are mistreated or treated unfairly in any way. So Yeah, I'm glad I've got involved. That's for sure. It would be good for someone to review. Yeah, I'm sure Dr. Evans' cases will be reviewed in the future. I hope so. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hi, Chris. Just tuned in. Thanks for all your videos. My pleasure, Heather. Thank you for being here. We are drawing towards the close of this live stream because I need the toilet, and I said I'd go. I'll try and make it to 9 o'clock. I'm a little bit tired. It was a privilege to see and hear you speak last Friday. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. It occurred to me that Alan Bates might be interesting to hear on Lucy's case. Do you know if he has expressed any opinions on the subject? I'm pretty sure we would have heard about it if he had. But I agree he would be a good person to get. I would love to get Andrew Malkinson. Whether we could do that or not, I don't know. How we would do that, I don't know. But I just haven't had time to think about these things. I've been so busy. But yeah, maybe Alan Bates is one to think about. I don't know. Hi, Chris. Sorry I didn't see the notification for this. Just joined. Now, glad I didn't miss it. Glad you're here, Shell, for some of it. I'm sorry it's only a little bit, but it's always good to have you here. I'll try to find a better way of notifying people. I'm not sure what else I can do, but I'll try to. On the subject of the popularity of dogs, my colleague Buddy has 4 times more followers on Twitter than I do. He has his own account, of course, Deborah. Yeah, that's normal. Dogs are just lovable, aren't they? You know? I just adore dogs so much, and all animals, but dogs obviously my favourite. But I do like cats a lot as well, and I do like horses a lot, and I like I like birds and I like fish, like everything. On the subject of popularity, I read that. George Orwell said, whenever he had a dog, he was sure it was the best dog in the world. I think all dog owners feel the way. Yeah. There's an incredible bond, isn't there, that it's hard to describe, isn't it, really? You just have such a strong bond. And obviously they feel it back as well. So 6-0 to Canada, 2 got sent off. Yeah. A dramatic game. They've got a good. So you're talking about Canada getting its first ever World Cup win. We're a hockey baseball country. You are a hockey baseball country, but you've got some good players. So I'm not surprised they did well. This is a good Canadian. I mean, surely this is the best Canadian football team ever, isn't it? Because they've got some really good players. And I think you might see them in the last 16. I think they've got a shot. Which would be nice because it's in North America. They look. I mean, I didn't watch that game live, but they look a very good team, very decent. Hi, Chris Knoll. Hi, Mackenzie. Hope you're well. Excuse me, just joined. As far as I'm aware, none of the medical and nursing governing bodies have commented on Lucy's conviction. Is this still the case? And if they haven't, why? Excuse me. So they have commented on it round about the time of the conviction. What they haven't done is comment on it since the obvious doubt that we know about has arisen. I don't think they ever will because it's too hot for them to handle. It's too controversial. If they start commenting on it, they're liable to be criticised. They won't like being criticised. It's just too difficult for them. They don't have the guts, Like that famous phrase in the film, "You want the truth, you can't handle the truth." They just can't handle the truth. That's a reality. I did in one of my videos talk a little bit about organizations, and organizations have this kind of inbuilt instinct for what is in their interest. So really, quite honestly, Lucy's union should have supported her. They're essentially not just ethically and morally, but organizationally, almost legally bound to do that. But they didn't. And the reason they didn't do that is because they know if we support her and she's found guilty, which of course she was, and we support her really strongly, and we come out strongly in her favour, we're going to get hammered for it. And they just won't take that risk. So that's why you don't hear from GMC, NMC, any of these organisations, because they won't take the risk of just saying, look, we know we can be criticised for this, but sod it. This is what we think about it. Let's go a bit further down. Put Kiko to the mic to talk. Yeah, I can't quite. She doesn't. Kiko's not a barker because she's too confident, too kind, too calm, and too dominant. So she doesn't bark unless something exciting's happening. She won't bark on demand, sadly. She doesn't do that. She does want the limelight today. She does. I'm really glad you get to see her because I know sometimes we do a live stream, you don't get to see her. And I know that's a small disappointment, or a big disappointment indeed. So oh, so you've seen the quotes. I didn't know the quotes were out there, Rachel. Yeah, so if people don't know, Sir David Davis, Dr. Philip Hammond, and Professor John Ashton are endorsing the book. So they'll be on the book as well. And apparently they're on Amazon. I don't go onto Amazon every day to check out my book. I'm not that vain. So I didn't actually know they were on there. But yeah, I've got the approval, which is enormously appreciated. So I was very happy to have those three, for sure. Yeah, the Witchfinder General, I think we know the identity on that postbox topper for sure. We can't hear Keats for your information, not at all. Yeah, she's quiet, but she's like bothering me constantly. So we need to get her some bedclothes down here next time. I agree about Chris's videos on Lucy's colleagues. Yeah, I'm glad you found that one useful. I've done one a big one for next week, but I've done some more small ones as well. But tomorrow's a break, so I'll just let this run so people can access the live stream recording tomorrow, and then I've done a short one for Sunday, short one for Monday, then a long one for Tuesday, and then I'll pick it up again from Thursday. I think the doctor. Yeah, I remember you saying this about the consultants might flee to another country. We'll see. But if it's depending on what happens, though, they can be called back anyway. It depends on what happens, but that won't necessarily protect them from scrutiny. Yeah, I agree, Christine. I agree with your comments to a great extent. The thing about Dr. Evans is he won't ever be an expert witness in any case ever again. So there is that. Firstly, with regard to the doctors in hospital, I don't know what the consequences will be for them, but we've got to work towards Lucy's exoneration. When Lucy's exonerated, at that point, they will face consequences, no doubt. I read an article about all the people in the UK with whole life orders. It was so awful, to see Lucy's name with all those monsters. Yeah, it's very sad, and think how hard it is for Lucy. It sucks. All we can do is try and change that. It's very unfair. I hope they change the law in how medical experts are. Yeah, I do. I mean, it's one of the things that must come out of this is the way that medical experts are chosen for court cases going forward. That needs to change. It needs to be a lot more thorough. There needs to be less witness shopping. Very obvious. You can't pay witnesses hundreds of thousands of pounds when they're not even experts in the subject matter that the court case is about. Can you imagine anything more stupid? It absolutely boggles the mind, doesn't it, really? But, whoops. That's a little way down the track. I think I'm going to have to end the live stream now because I really need to go to the toilet desperately. I'll just read through the remaining questions and see if there are any more questions. So thank you for your really kind comments this evening. I really appreciate it. I was trying to hang on with this toilet thing. So yeah, someone's asking, are they? So it could be my connection is dropping here because I have ridiculously fast internet because my entire life is the internet. They've got perfectly adequate, but it may not be quite as good as mine. But yeah, it might not be, but it could be yours as well. I don't know. It's very hard for me to say. But yeah, I will. Just the last thing someone has asked is about whether their names are going to be on the book, and yeah, you'll absolutely have Sir David Davis, Philip Hammond, and John Ashton on the book. Yeah, they are there. So yeah, thank you for all the support. I'm going to have to go now because I really need the toilet. And I can't hold it in any longer. Sorry. I nearly made it to 2 hours. My intention was to do 2 hours. I did 1 hour 50, so that's not bad. It's the shortest live stream I've done, but it's my first one here, and I wasn't as prepped for this one as I have been for the others. So we will be we'll do some prep for the next one. I'm glad you got to see lots of keeks, and thanks for all being here. And I hope I've answered all your questions today. And I'll do another one soon. I don't know when, but there's going to be more YouTube content in the next few days, heading into next week, because I've recorded it already. And we'll go from there. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for being here this evening. Thanks for being here for Lucy, and thanks for being here to fight this miscarriage of justice and egregious, horrible, terrible situation. Sorry to the person who just tuned in. All I can do for you, let me do this for you. There you go, your comments on the screen. I can't say further than that, can I? Sorry about that. But yeah, thanks for everyone that supported me and been here this evening. And yeah, I'll end the stream now, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thanks again.